Let me start with a question today. But is Senegal really free? Who controls Senegal? And who is behind all the plots against Sonko? Who is plotting to eliminate Sonko? Is Senegal free? That is my question. Let's dive deep. Family, welcome back. We are very appreciative to be part of you, and we are very grateful to be with you. I really appreciate you all for being part of us and for being part of the great Pan-African movement and the great narrative that is shaping Africa. We are the ones that are reporting the real narrative that Africans should hear from the continent, not on other media houses or on other big channels that these people do, because Africa is often seen as people who don't have the capability to report their own things. So we are the ones pushing this great agenda, and we are the ones that are trying to reclaim our narrative. So thanks for being part of the family, and thanks for being part of us. So today we are in Senegal. Senegal is one of the stable countries in Africa, in West Africa. Senegal has got two great men. We have Ousmane Sonko, the Prime Minister of Senegal, and his president, that is Bassirou Diomaye Faye. These two came to prominence during the Macky Sall regime. Ousmane Sonko was one of the prominent opposition leaders during the time. So after Macky Sall, when elections approached, Ousmane Sonko was imprisoned, and his counterpart, or his greatest friend, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. This was during the Macky Sall regime. They imprisoned them because he never wanted the running mate. So these people went to jail, and by God's grace they were out. So President Sonko was banned from running to the presidency. He had to nominate his staunch friend, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. So after the nomination of Bassirou Diomaye Faye, he actually won the elections, and you saw him when during his elections. But the support he got was from Ousmane Sonko. In brief, Ousmane Sonko commands more respect than Bassirou Diomaye Faye. In terms of Pan-Africanism, Prime Minister Sonko is one of the greatest Pan-Africanists we have now in the continent. Though he never got the opportunity to lead the country, Ousmane Sonko is still championing the Pan-African agenda. That's why you have seen him aligning with the great men in the Sahel, that is Captain Ibrahim Traore, Abdraman Chiani, and General Assimi Goïta of Mali. So he has been a close ally to them. But at first things seem to go well. But the history has turned dramatically in recent days. When President Diomaye Faye was accused of failing to protect his prime minister. These were words of Prime Minister Sonko. Sonko accused President Diomaye Faye of making less efforts to protect him from what he called his enemies. So, Sonko has enemies, and he sees himself in danger, and his life is in danger. The enemies even have the guts to tell him that you have to resign. Sonko found himself in fire. There have been closed door meetings and everything, but I think the things that as they were planned didn't go well. That's why Ousmane Sonko had to come publicly and declare that his life is in danger, and he feels less protected because his enemies have gained more support and have surrounded him. So he called on President Diomaye Faye that he should use all means as the president to protect him from what he termed as his enemies, and indeed he's a Pan-Africanist. That makes him to be a target. That makes him already to be a target of these kind of people. I don't want to mention them on my platform because they are always associated with censorship and everything. So he's a Pan-Africanist, and this has made him to be a target of many. So he feels his life is in danger. So that's why he had to call on President Diomaye Faye to do something. But let me give you a little advice. I don't know how I feel, but I feel like Senegal is still under colonial power. It is still controlled by France. Because I see these people as having less powers. They cannot even decide something. That's what I'm seeing now. So, in brief, Sonko feels less protected and his life is in danger. He also uttered out a statement that said that they are even pressurizing him to resign from his prime ministerial works. And this feels nasty, right? So it feels somehow not good, There are some people that are pushing that agenda. Because that's where the question comes. I tell you that I'm not sure whether Senegal is real free. Because the Senegalese did less to divert themselves from their colonial master. France is still operating in Senegal, and a lot of big companies and contracts are owned by France in Senegal. So Senegal is still under the control of France. Most of the decisions are being made by France. The parliament is full of French backers. So the Senegalese judicial system is also, I cannot say that corrupted, but I think that's the right word I can use. The judicial system is not favoring the indigenous citizens. The judicial system is full of those people who will seek orders from outside in order to decide for themselves. So you see there is conflicting realities in Senegal. And they do have, I think, because of the Pan-African nature of Prime Minister Sonko, this has made him a target of these kind of people. So, if you try to talk, of course, you have to be silenced by all means, not to make problems for other people. So, this has made the stories are still going on in Senegal. We don't know what will be next, but I think the two should get a close conversation and solve their issues diplomatically or individually instead of publicizing them. But I also called Senegal to cut themselves from neo-colonialism. Senegal is still under control. Senegal is not free. The Senegalese people, I'm sorry to say so, but you're not free. The Senegalese people are still under control of the French. All the authority in Senegal is still under the guidance of the big man. So Senegal as a country is not free. It is still under control. But I see some efforts by the young leaders. They are trying by all means to cut themselves away from this kind of people, So let's wait and see. Because we have not seen changes since those guys took over power. We have not seen something that is important or influential according to the Pan-African ideals that were championed by the two guys. So we don't know what really is going on in Senegal. Let's wait and focus. Maybe inshallah something might change and something might be good. God bless. This is the army.
Reportedly refused the bribe. However, it's crucial to note that this incident hasn't been confirmed by credible news.